Alright, welcome back, my wonderful viewers. And the last time out, I showed you guys how to add fractions. Today we want to learn how to subtract fractions. So here we go. So suppose you are given something like this. How do you go about it to solve? The solution to this problem is the first thing, go and tackle this guy. Convert. It is a must. You must convert every mixed fraction to improper fraction. That is the first thing you do. If you have a mixed fraction there, convert it to improper fraction. Without it, your answer will be what? To be wrong. So this guy, when you convert 1 over 2 to improper fraction, it will be 5 over 2. In case you don't know how to convert, please check my previous videos on how to convert from mixed fraction to improper fraction. So 2 whole number 1 over 2 is the same as 5 over 2. Alright, so since we have done that, this implies that this question, which is 2 whole number 1 over 2 minus 1 over 3, is the same thing as this, is the same thing as 5 over 2 minus 1 over 3. When we must have gotten this, the next thing we should ask ourselves, since we have two fractions here, now we check the denominators of the fraction. We have 2 here, we have 3. You get the LCM of the denominators here, LCM of 2 and 3. If you check the LCM, the answer is what? 6. The LCM is 6. And also, in case you have no knowledge of LCM, please do yourself good by going to my channel to watch a video that I did with regards to LCM. Go and watch it before coming here. So the LCM is this. Let me dive deep to finish it up. And so, since we have gotten our LCM as 6, I'll be working with this now. We have 5 over 2, this is the new stuff. What about this? I will got our LCM as 6. Now the next you do is to draw a line. When you draw a line, you put the LCM, which is 6, at the denominator. 6, which is LCM, is now the new denominator. Now the next thing, you go back to the question. We have 5 over 2, which is the first fraction. Take your LCM. Your LCM here is 6. Divide the LCM by the denominator of the first fraction, which is 2. When you do it, it will give you 2. Bring the 3 down. Multiply this 3 with the numerator of the first fraction. The numerator of the first fraction is 5. Then we are done with this. When we move next, we encounter subtractions minus sign. And after this, the next is we encounter another fraction. Anywhere you see fraction, you pause and go and use your LCM, which is 6, divided by the denominator of the second fraction, which is 3 here. So 6 over 3 is 2. Use this to multiply the numerator of the second fraction. The numerator here is 1. So this guy will give you 3 times 5 is 15 minus 2 times 1, 2 all over 6. This minus this will give you 13 over 6. When you convert 13 over 6 to 6, 13 over 6 to mixed fraction, it's going to give you 2 whole number 1 over 6. So in case, if you don't know how to convert from improper fraction to mixed fraction, I also have a video on YouTube that has to do with this. So go and watch that video so as acquaint yourself with this. There is virtually no big deal to this. So this is the answer. If you leave it 13 over 6, no problem. If you leave it like this, 2 whole number 1 over 6, absolutely no problem. Now here we go. Let me give you another instance. So supposing I say solve, I then give you 1 all over 4 minus 3 over 8 to solve. Okay, let me change this to 5, forgive me. I'll give you guys to solve. The first thing you do is you get the LCM. The LCM of, there is no need to convert because everything here is normal. So there is no mixed fraction, so there is no need to convert. Supposing we have mixed fraction here, we must have converted it in improper fraction before we proceed. So the LCM of the denominators, which is 4 and 5, is 20. We draw this line, you put your LCM there. Here the LCM is 20. When you put it, you go back to the equation, we have 1 over 4. 1 over 4, take the LCM, 20, divide it by the denominator of the first fraction, the denominator is 4. 20 over 4 will give you 5. Multiply this 5 by the numerator of the first fraction. The numerator here is 1 minus. We see this minus, we put it down. After the minus, you encounter another fraction. Anytime you encounter fraction, take the denominator, which is LCM, take it outside. Use it to divide. You divide the LCM by the denominator of the second fraction. Here we have 5. This divided by this will give you 4. Multiply by the so-called numerator of the second fraction. We have 3 here. Then 5 times 1 is 5 minus 4 times this is 12 all over 20. This one will give us negative. So 5 minus 12 is minus 7 all over what? 20. So this is the answer, minus 7 over 20. If you punch it on calculator, century calculator to be precise, it will give you the same thing. So absolutely, there is virtually no big deal to what we have on board. Now that's okay. Let me also give you guys another stuff. A good number of examples to spice you guys up to know what is happening under the hood. Now, in a situation whereby you have, let's say, 3 whole number, 2 over 5 minus 1 all over 6 minus, forgive me, 1 whole number 1 over 6. As I solve this, the first thing, we write solution. The next thing, since we have mixed fractions, you can't stop. Some people will go and add these two. Don't make such mistake, please. First of all, convert all. Since we have mixed fractions there, you convert 3 whole number 2 over 5 and 1 whole number 1 over 6 to what? Improper fraction. That's the first thing you do. You don't do it, you're just making hell of what? Mistake. Now here we go. When we convert this guy, we're gonna get 3 whole number 2 over 5. When you convert it, it's going to give you 17 over 5. And 1 whole number 1 over 6, when you convert it, it's going to give you 7 over 6. So it implies that this question, which is 3 whole number 2 over 5 minus 1 whole number 1 over 6, is the same thing as 17 all over 5. This, everything here is 17 over 5 minus everything here is 7 over 6. So here now, since we have converted all the mixed fractions, we are good to go. The next thing is to get the LCM of the denominator. We have denominators 5 and 6. LCM of 5 and 6 is nothing but what? 30. This is the LCM. Absolutely what? Very simple. There is virtually no big deal to what we have on board. Okay, so let me make room to give a rundown to this. Alright, so now we have this. The stuff will give us, I think, 17 over 5 minus 7 over 6. This is the new stuff we are working with now, and the LCM that we got was 30. So the next thing is to draw a line, put your LCM, which is 30. Go back to this question. When you go back, you discover that we have encountered a fraction. Anytime you encounter fraction, go and take your LCM. Here we have 30 as LCM. Divide it by the denominator of the first fraction. The denominator there is 5. This divided by this will give you 6. Use 6 to multiply the numerator of the first fraction. Here we have 17 minus we encounter another fraction, we bring it down, 30 all over. The denominator of the second fraction, we have 6 there. 30 over 6 is 5, write down 5. Multiplied by the numerator of the first of the second fraction, forgive me, which is 7. 6 times 17, let me multiply it somewhere. 6 times 7 is 42, write down 2 carry 4. 6 times 1, 6 plus 4, 10. So we have 102 minus 5 times 7 is 35, all divided by 30. So when you subtract this guy by 35, take down here, you have 7, this will also be 9. Okay. 9. Then 9 minus 3 is 6, we have 67. 67 over 30. So if you convert 67 over 30 to mixed fraction, here is improper fraction. If you convert it to mixed fraction, we're gonna get two whole numbers, 7 over 30. So these two guys are the same. If you leave your answer as 67 over 30, that's good. But it's better you break it down to prove to the world that you're not a newbie in mathematics. Okay, so in this regard, I guess I must have done justice to what you write, and I'll advise you guys to keep on subscribing to my channel.